Hi everyone, it's Kieran from The Week Junior here, and today I'm joined by the star of Pixar's new film Onward, Tom Holland. Tom,
Hello.
good to see you.
Thanks for having me. How you doing?
I'm really good, thank you.
Good.
I went to see the film this week, and it is an instant Pixar classic for me. I think it's
amazing.
like right up there with the very best.
Thank you.
For our readers who haven't seen it yet, can you tell us a little bit about the film and how your character fits into it?
Yes, of course. This is a film about brotherhood. It's based on a character called Ian Lightfoot and Barley Lightfoot, who are two brothers. Ian, unfortunately, never got the opportunity to meet his dad. He passed away before he was born. And on his 16th birthday, his dad leaves him a magic wizard staff with a spell that will bring him back for a day. And in doing so, Barley, the older brother who typically messes everything up, messes up the spell, and we're left with just my dad's legs. So we have to go on a quest with each other to find what's called a phoenix gem to perform the spell again and bring him back so I can meet him for the first time and Barley can say goodbye to him properly.
And how did you come to get involved with Onward? Where did that kind of journey start?
You know, working for Pixar was always a huge goal of mine. I've been a huge fan of the studio and it's pretty hard to fault their work. So it was just that thing of, like, you know, speaking to my agents about if there was ever an opportunity for Pixar, I'd love to sort of jump to it, and we were just lucky enough that they called. And when Pixar calls, there's only really one answer you give, which is obviously no. I don't want to work with you. But no, yeah, of course I said yes.
And did you know at that point that Chris Pratt was going to play your brother?
No, I didn't. I was actually on board before Chris was, and obviously was over the moon when I found out it was Chris because we're great buddies, and I thought he was perfect casting. And I think for people that have seen the film, we balance each other really nicely throughout the arc of the story, with Ian being a little bit more of an introvert and Barley being a little bit more of an extrovert, and then they sort of meet in the middle halfway through, and it's a really, really nice story arc for these two brothers.
Because it's a magic film, but your character feels very ordinary.
Yes.
No offense to Ian, but he feels like a very normal character. And so when you're putting together that character, how do you kind of balance the fantastical elements of the world with this like normal kid who's growing up in a world that hasn't quite embraced magic?
Well, it's interesting because magic, our world is very similar to this world, except we don't have unicorns, we don't have pixies, we don't have dragons. And we've all become obsessed with technology. Technology has taken over the magic of the world. You know, everyone lives their life now through their phone and doesn't look up. And this film's called Onward, and the only way to go onward is to look forward, which means not looking at your phone. But Ian, you know, I think Peter Parker's an ordinary kid in a very extraordinary world. So I've done it quite a lot, really. So that wasn't the biggest challenge when it comes to making this film.
What was the biggest challenge?
Do you know what? The biggest challenge was it was just really difficult, like physically. You know, you're playing these characters who are so heightened and there's so much energy throughout the entire story, but you have to do that without moving off of one spot. So you're like thrashing around and doing all this crazy stuff, and it's just really tiring. It's one of those things that sounds like you're just being a bit of a wuss because you're like, it's a voiceover, dude. You just speak for a few hours, but it is actually really tiring. But one thing I love about these films is that they film you when you're animating.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of Ian's physicality has come from stuff that I was doing on the day. Like whenever I feel really awkward, I do this. And I'm like, yeah, well, and there's a moment in the film where he does that. And I was watching, I was like, that's totally me as an elf. I love it. So it's really clever how the animators sort of take your movement as an inspiration to make these wonderful characters.
And was Ian designed when you were doing the voice? So did you know how he was going to appear, or is that something that comes further down the line? How does that process come together?
I mean, he was, I think after my first or second session, we had a pretty clear idea of what Ian would look like. And Barley also, and then, you know, Guinevere the van came into it, and then they started showing me pictures of some of the creatures we'd be interacting with. So as the process went on, there was more and more material to draw from. But at the beginning, it was basically just Dan, Corey, and myself in a recording room, just giving it our best.
We talked earlier about Chris Pratt playing your brother. Did your experiences of working together on other films help to create that relationship, which really is at the centre of the film?
I really think so, because this film is so much about this connection between these two brothers. And unfortunately, because of Chris and I's schedules, we couldn't always be in the same room with each other. So it was really important that they found two people that had a pre-existing relationship, because that needed to transcend onto the screen without them actually being in the room with each other. So I really do think that our relationship off-screen from the Marvel Universe was really helpful in the making of this film.
Let's talk for a second about Pixar.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier, you know, it's the sort of the role that you can't turn down.
Absolutely.
What are your top 3 Pixar films?
The Incredibles 1,
Yeah.
Toy Story 2, and my favourite is Coco.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I love that film. My Granny Tess is quite similar to Mama Coco. She just kind of gives me Granny Tess vibes. So that film has a special place for me.
We, of course, know that one of the Pixar traits is to have some hidden Easter eggs hidden away in the film.
Yes.
Have you come across any in Onward yet?
Do you know what? I didn't notice any. At one point we go and pump gas, and I'm pretty sure, isn't there something in Pixar where it's always the same gas station?
That sounds familiar.
Where there's like a Planet Hollywood. I'm sure there's a Planet Hollywood hidden in there somewhere, but I'm not too sure.
Okay, I'll need to go and rewatch it then.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm gonna watch it. I'm watching it again tonight, so I'll have a look for you.
Okay, thank you. The story takes place on your character's 16th birthday.
Yes.
What did you do for yours?
I think on my 16th birthday I went water skiing with all my mates.
That's good.
Which was really fun. My mum used to be like a professional water skier when she was my age. She
Wow.
lived in Orlando with my dad, and she was a water skier at Wet n Wild. So my mum was giving us all a skiing lesson. She's actually really good. It's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Mm.
I learnt this morning that you were born the day before me.
No way.
Yeah, so obviously...
Geminis?
Yeah, exactly. Birthday is still a few months away, but what are you going to do this year?
What am I going to do this year? So I'm shooting Uncharted, and I will be done, or maybe we won't be done by my birthday. But I think by that point, oh no, I can't say that. I'll give something away. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for my birthday. Probably go away for a golf weekend or something. That's what I love to do.
Not an epic road trip. Have you done one of those before?
I haven't. Do you know what? I don't love the idea of road trips.
Yeah.
I like getting somewhere quickly, chilling out when I get there, and then getting home just as fast. You know?
Okay, that's fair enough. You play the younger brother in this film, but in real life you're the older brother.
Yes, I
Did
am,
you chat to your brothers about what it feels like to be the younger sibling? Because it's quite a different dynamics for a relationship.
No, I didn't really. I mean, we're all very close, and I think I have a good understanding of what it's been like for them to have the coolest big brother in the world. No, I just basically played my younger brother Paddy in this film. Is basically what I did.
What do they think of you being a Hollywood star?
They don't really care if I'm
Do
honest.
not?
No, it doesn't really bother them, which is great. It's really nice because it keeps me on the ground and stops me getting lost in the clouds of Hollywood.
There's some pretty great magic in this film that sort of comes out as the story
Yeah, it's pretty
progresses.
fun.
Are there any spells that you'd like to bring into the real world?
Of the spells that are in this film, the bridge one would be pretty cool. Bridge, what is it? Bridge Regar Invisia, I think is the spell. That'd be pretty cool because then you could just walk across buildings, kind of like Spider-Man, and no one could see you.
There's a
Go
crossover.
totally under the radar. It'd be great.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
We've seen kind of recently you've sort of moved into the voice acting arena a little bit more with your films. Is that something that you want to continue to explore?
Absolutely. I mean, it's not something that I'd decided to set out and do. I just was lucky enough that these opportunities were coming up, and I was really eager to take them on. But I've really enjoyed working with Pixar and with Spotlight, making Spies in Disguise. I had a wonderful time making that film. So yeah, I would totally do it again if anyone asked.
And what can our readers expect to see you in next?
I am about to start shooting a film called Uncharted, which is a really exciting adventure movie with Mark Wahlberg and myself. We are shooting Spider-Man 3 later this year. I shot a movie last year called Cherry, which is my best work and the film I'm already most proud of, with the Russo brothers. So that should be coming out soon, I guess. And yeah, lots to come.
That's great, Tom Holland. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Morning!
Morning! Hey, get back to work!
Hey, Mom!
Stop it! Blazy, down! Sorry, I didn't get a chance to walk her. Oh, bad dragon. Back to your lair.
Come, dear brother, our destiny awaits.
Oh,
I'm coming.
I see you've brought sustenance for our adventure.
No, it's garbage for the trash can, and you left the lid off! Oh, shoot! Get out of here! Shoot, get...
Ugh, unicorns.
We're going on a grand and glorious quest.
It's not a quest, it's just a really fast and strange errand.
It's totally a quest.